Everyone and welcome in a new video, and in this video we are going to understand about system calls, that what is a system call and how basically user interact with an operating system, how operating system interact with the different functionalities. So we will see these things in this video. Okay, so let's understand first of all about system call. What is a system call? So system call is basically a way for a program to interact with an operating system. So what is a system call? System call is basically a way, a path by which program can able to interact with an operating system. Now what does a meaning of a program means? Whatever the user want to do, this is what a program is. Okay, so what is a system call? A way for program, a way for programs to interact with operating system, is basically a system call. Now I understand this with the help of an example. Like, okay, so let's take an example. What basically a meaning of a system call is. So you see, this is your desktop. Okay, so in desktop, what you basically see that when you right click on your desktop, this is your desktop, and when you right click on this desktop, let's say you right click on this side, okay, or any side, you basically what you basically click means you click right. Okay, now then what happens when you right click on a desktop? There are numerous things occur on your screen. Numerous things will occur on your screen. So these thing is basically, these all stuff is basically generate by an operating system. Okay, so let's see an example. Let's see this thing with the desktop. Let's see this thing. When you right click on a desktop, you see a numerous options. So how these option is basically occur? These options occur by an operating system. These functionality means when I click on a view, I see so many things sorted by I see so many options. Refresh, when I click on a refresh, whole thing is refreshed. So if I click on a new, if I hover to new, we see so many things here. So these things is basically done by an operating system. The functionality of these things were already written in the operating system, and operating system basically show these things. But why operating system show me these things? Because I right click on this desktop. Okay, so when I right click on the desktop, I see so many things. So is this a system call? No. Yeah, it's kind of means when what basically a system call is, when user want to perform any task. Like when I right click on a desktop, I see numerous options. Means let's say I want to create a folder. I want to create a folder. So when I right click on this, what user want to do? User want to create a folder. When I right click on this, I see for a new option and go for a folder, and now my folder is created. So when I right click, the system call is generate. A system call is going on. When I right click on a desktop, a system call generate means after right click, a system call is basically going on, and this system call tell the operating system to open these numerous functionality, So I hope it is clear to you that how this, what basically system call is and how operating system show me this functionality. Okay, so this is the way, to calling this is a way to create a folder with the help of a system call. Okay, let's say another example. When you open a WordPad, okay, when you open a Microsoft Word, what you want to do is you want to write something. So let's say hi Ayush. So if you write it like this, you write something in your in a word, and now you want to save this thing. So here is the option of a file. When you click on a file, you will see so many options like save and save as, and when you click on this, your file is saved. Now these thing is also done by a system call and then operating system. And the another way is what, when you click on a control S, means when you write whatever you want to do, and when you click on a control S, what the user want to do. If you click control S, means user want to save this file. How the operating system know with the help of these buttons that okay, now user want to save this file. Okay, so these things basically done by the system call. System call is the one who basically interact with an operating system to do a particular program what user want to do. In this case, you want to save this file in a hardware. So when a control S is pressed, when control plus S is pressed, then a system call is going on. System call is going on, and system call going on, and operating system understand the task, understand the what user want to do is what the program that user want to do. User want to save this file. Then operating system, what operating system do? Operating system save this file in a hardware. Okay, how operating system save this file in a hardware. So in this way the things work. Means user first of all generate a system call talk to an operating system, that now operating system understand the assignment and do this thing. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you that what is a system call. System call is basically a way for a program to interact with an operating system, Okay, now operating system is basically if you see a general diagram of an operating system, so operating system, first of all, the main thing in an operating system is kernel. Okay, we will see the detail about the kernel as well, but remember now that kernel is a very important part in an operating system. Without the kernel you cannot do anything. Okay, and the upper shell is basically called shell. The upper boundary is called shell. Now what basically these two things contain, let's see this thing. Okay, so shell basically contain whatever you see, means GUI, means graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. Graphical user interface means whatever the icons you see, means whatever the icon, let's say this is your desktop, you will see my computer icon, my computer, you will see your folder, my folder. Okay, so whatever you basically see, whatever you see is basically a GUI, graphical user interface, and these things basically done by an operating system part, which is a shell, operating system layer. These interaction between GUIs and the command line. There is one more thing which is called command line. So this thing is basically done by the shell layer. This thing was done by, means you want to change the GUI, you want to clear, if you click on this particular folder, the folder is open. So this thing is basically done by this shell layer of an operating system. This thing is done by a shell layer of an operating system. Now what is a command line? We understand about GUI. Now what is a command line? Command line is basically if you use Linux operating system, then command line is very easy for that to understand this thing. Okay, so in Linux operating system, what basically happen is everything is work with the help of a command line. Means you have a box. So if you want to create a folder, there is a word which is mkdir, means make directory to simply create a folder, and cd to go inside a folder, and there are so many commands. Okay, so with the help of this command box, with the help of this command line, we can able to do a particular program, we will able to do a particular task. Okay, so this thing is basically done by the shell. In a Windows operating system, there is a called command line as well, command command prompt. Okay, there is a thing which is called command prompt, and whatever you write on this thing is going to happen in the system as well. Means if you want to open a folder from this command prompt, you can do that thing. If you want to create a folder, if you want to open something, if you want to open anything, if you want to do anything, then this command line can do that thing. Okay, and this thing was done by the layer which is a shell layer. Okay, so I hope it is understand that what is GUI and what is a command line means whatever the function you want to perform. So input operation, you can say an input operation, or you can say whatever you want to do, you can do these things with the help of a shell layer. Okay, and this is placed in a up just above the kernel. Now we understand about the shell layer assignment. Now what is a kernel? Kernel is very important part of an operating system. Okay, so you see GUI, you see command line, but the user want to perform a task, user want to perform some process, user want to interact with an hardware. So these things was done by the kernel. Okay, these things were done by the kernel. So kernel is basically a core part of an operating system. Kernel is a core part of operating system. Okay, kernel is a core part of an operating system, and all the features means when I right click on the desktop, I see numerous features like view, new. So these things, these functionality, these functions is written inside the kernel. These functions is written inside the kernel. So that's why it's called the core part of an operating system. Okay, so which have all the functionality, which have all the functionality. Okay, so this is what a kernel is. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you that what is a kernel, what is an shell. Kernel means whatever the important functions, whatever the functions is written in an operating system, these functions are stored inside the kernel. Okay, and whatever you see is basically inside the shell layer. Okay, so I hope it is easy to understand what the shell layer is, what a kernel is. Okay, so now we understand about a system call, we understand about the parts. Now there is a thing which is called a dual mode of an operating system. What it is? Dual mode of operating system. Dual mode of an operating system. So there are only two mode. Zero mode and a one mode. Zero mode or a one mode, or you can say okay, so you can, two modes are basically, you can like two modes are user mode. This is denoted by the mode bit 1. Okay, when mode bit is 1, okay, so mode bit is of two types, 0 and 1. When the mode bit is 1, it means what? It means now the operating system is in a user mode. Now it's a user chance to provide an input, or it's user chance to do whatever the program they want to do. Okay, and after that the another mode is called the kernel mode. Why I write kernel? Because kernel is a core part of an operating system. You can write it like system as well, you can write it like supervision as well, or you can write it like privilege mode as well. Privileged mode. When mode bit is 0, now it's chance of an operating system to perform whatever the user want to do. Okay, so in starting the user mode is 1, means now it's chance of user to do whatever the program you want to do. When user, okay, so now user says, okay, I want to create a folder, right click, there a system call is going on. The system call convert this mode means it change the current mode. If current mode is 1, it change to 0. If 0, it change to 1. Okay, so system call change that mode. Now it's time to the another part means the kernel part, now to do the functionality. When they do their functionality, then again the mode bit is goes to the 1. Now the user can able to perform the task as well. User can able to do their task as well. Right click, so many option is going on. Then if you right click, now mode bit become 1 to 0. Kernel process these things. Kernel shows your functions, different functions. Okay, now when you click on new, when you click on a folder, the folder is created. now mode bit from 0, now operating system work is done. So operating system change their mode bit from 0 to 1. Now it's user way to open the folder and do whatever they wanna do. Okay, when it's a user chance, mode bit is 1. When it's a kernel chance, mode bit is 0. Okay, so it is used for the system protection as well. It is used for the system protection as well. Okay, now understand this thing with the help of a clean diagram. Okay, so user program. Okay, so user process executing. Okay, user process is executing, user is executing their process, and a system call is done. A system call is done means, let's say the user want to save a file, so it says Control S. Now a system call is going on. If a system call is going on, it now it's time of an kernel, it's time of an operating system to perform what the user want to do. In this case, user want to save a file. Okay, so it change mode bit from 0 to mode bit from 1, because user press Control S. Now system call is going on, so its mode bit is changed from 1 to 0. Here mode bit is 1. System call going on, mode bit changed to 0. Now it's operating system who execute the system call, means who execute the program what user want to do, means user want to save a file, so it starts saving the file in a hard disk. Okay, so executing system call, executing the system call. Now after saving the file, now it goes to the, it basically return the mode bit, return mode bit 1. Why it return the mode bit 1? Because when user can able to see the changes when the mode bit is become 1. If mode bit is become 0, it means kernel is doing their process. When they completely execute the system call, when it completely save the file in hard disk, then it return the mode bit to 1. Now when the mode bit become 1, now user can see the things changes. Okay, so when the mode bit become 1, now it returning from system call. Now the cursor is returning from a system call. Okay, so now again it goes to a user. You can understand like this, it's an line. The above thing is basically a user thing, and the below this line is what a operating system things. Okay, so when mode bit become 1, now it's user chance to executing their process. It says Control S, system call is going on. Now it's time of an operating system, so it change mode bit from 1 to 0. Now operating system save this file in a hardware, then it return mode bit to 1, so that it can, the cursor goes to the user to do the changes or do whatever they want to do. So this is what returning from a system call. Okay, so this is how the dual mode of an operating system is basically done. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you that how the system call is done, what is the dual mode of an operating system. Okay, now okay, so in a previous video I told you about a process. In this I also told about you process. What is a process? Process is nothing. Process is program plus execution time. Remember this thing. Okay, so this is a very important thing, because when I say process, I mean program plus execution, and when I say program, it means a program that user want to run in a CPU. Okay, so this is what the thing is. So now this is what a system call, and this is what the a shell and a kernel is operating system. This is the thing, this is how the operating system is basically done their thing. Okay, so this is all about an operating system and a system call. In this video, in the next video, we will understand about the PCB. We will understand about the PCB, process descriptor, which is a very important thing, because how the operating system send the process to the CPU. We will see these things in a next video. So thank you for watching this video. Like the video and subscribe my channel.